I think it's close to Michael Barrymore on acid. If you want a tip, get on it now.
What did your mum think about that? Hi John, how's it going?
Great, nice to see you again, yes.
Yeah, welcome to Double Putt Cafe. Let's
Good,
head in. Lovely. So John, tell me what was it that attracted you to soul music in the first place?
So about the age of 15, I had no interest at all, no serious interest in any form of music. Pop music didn't appeal to me. And this is 1968, and I'm playing football for Little Stoke Youth Club. And on a training night, a record comes on the jukebox. I had to know what it was. It was the Isley Brothers, This Old Heart of Mine. When I was about 17, I met a DJ who was a couple of years older than me, and he played, amongst other places, a club in Bristol where they specialised in black American music and reggae ska.
What was the club called? Got to dig down into
now.
those memories,
No, it's gone
John.
now. It's gone.
It's
gone. It was in St Paul's, near Berkeley Square. The Bamboo Club.
Oh, the Bamboo Club.
The Bamboo
Nice.
Club, yeah. He didn't have transport, but he said, come with me where I buy my records. I had a scooter. So he said, pick me up one Saturday morning. We drove down to what is the legendary Picton Street record shop. It's the only shop in Bristol that stocked every record. Most record shops would only stock top 40. They also stocked blues and soul, which from that moment changed my life. So I ordered my fortnightly copy from the shop. I'd be down there at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. Blues and Soul Day was usually a Friday. There was an advert in Blues and Soul for an all-nighter in Leeds, April the 6th, 1974. This all-nighter's become fairly legendary in that it was slammed not long afterwards because the dirty state of the floor. It was an old bus depot and they hadn't done much decorating, or it was mainly used for live gigs. But it was my first all-nighter, absolutely magical. We saw dancing that I'd never seen before, records that I'd never heard before. There was a record bar that I couldn't stay away from. I saw Major Lance, J.J. Barnes.
It sounds like, I mean, you were into the collecting way before you even went to your first all-nighters,
Yes.
so you were always more on the collecting side.
Yeah, I was a collector. I'd hear the records and I had to have them on vinyl.
Why do you think you became more on the collecting side rather than the sort of going out all-nighter side?
Maybe because I didn't really have any friends that were interested. Nobody could really understand why I was into a music that never charted.
So a lot of your friends were into sort of chart music?
Yeah, just generally popular music. With these record lists were arriving, you couldn't go wrong with soul packs. Soul packs were aplenty back in the 70s. The first one I bought was in 72, and no idea what you're getting. 100 records, £10 from Global Records in Manchester. I bought numerous soul packs over the years. Another one of the better ones was from Soul Bowl. John Anderton and Gary Cape bought up a warehouse of TK records. Gary Cape flogged his at 40p a pop, and John Anderton sold his 100 a time. And I've got so many in there that there's just loads of fantastic records in that one soul pack.
Going back to you're buying records back in the 70s, how do you think that's changed nowadays?
Oh, totally different. Well, back in the 70s, I used to do a weekly visit to Stokes Croft, Cheltenham Road. There were loads of junk shops, record shops up there. They all stocked records. They were basically from house clearances.
Yeah.
And I'd go in and I'd buy everything. You can't do that anymore. Junk shops, charity shops, they don't sell records like that anymore. Also, you don't get record shops anymore. One of the best ones I used to go to was called Disc and Tape in Cheltenham Road. They used to have a box on the counter of all demos, and I guess it was a rep who was rewarding the shop for purchases by giving them demos, or either that or flogging them demos that they had in there.
What extent does your sort of record collecting go? Like, for example, if you were to go into a charity shop and you were to see a really cheap record, but you've already got, say, maybe 3 of them, would you be able to help yourself?
I used to hoover up everything. But yeah, back in the 70s and early 80s, when you could go into record shops or junk shops, and I'd hoover up everything. because they've knocked them out 20p a time, junk shops.
Talking about nighters, you went to Yate a couple of times, which was...
Yeah, a couple of times.
They say it was the alternative to Wigan, and some people say that it might have even been better than Wigan, but you also went to Blackpool as well.
I went to Blackpool a few times, yes, because I play football Sunday mornings, and by going to Blackpool, I could get back in time to have a couple of hours kit, get my boots and go and play football, which most all-nighters I couldn't have done.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't give up playing football. I still play now, madly enough, twice a week.
I know, sometimes I see you come into the Sunday nights and you're like, been playing football all day. Yeah, I mean, you're still a very active person. I wonder, did that ever translate? Were you much of a dancer back in the day?
No, I've never seen myself dance on film, not really. I think it's close to Michael Barrymore on acid, if anything. I think my size doesn't lend to be a good dancer. Most of the best dancers are well under 6 foot. I stand out a bit. I do like to dance, but I usually stand at the back, keep out of the way.
Tell me about a time when you've had to choose between a record and something else, and what was it?
Oh, what was it? Well, I can remember going into a record shop, and it was a second-hand record shop. I spent a whole week's wages in one hit. So basically, it was choosing between giving my mother her housekeeping and having enough to go out for the week, or buy the records. So that was the choice, and they had so many.
So you chose the records instead of the housekeeping?
Yeah, I came out with 26 singles.
Oh my God. What did your mum think about that?
Well, I said I was always putting her off anyway because I was always behind. But I think she understood. I think I was paying her a fiver then.
Your poor mum, John.
I know. She had to put up with a lot.
Ultimate question, if I was to give you 50 quid right now, what are the 3 records that you would go and buy?
Oh, 3, right. Oh, well, I've seen one today, I bought one yesterday actually. There's I don't know if you've heard Soul for Real. It's a Spanish label, and they do reissue stuff that's been released before, but occasionally they put out stuff that hasn't been released, and you've got to be quick. I think the one I bought yesterday doesn't come out for another month, and I can see that one selling out and trebling in price as soon as it's sold out, which is the Valentinos. If you want a tip, get on it now.
There you go, new record collectors. Get your pens and papers
previously
out.
Previously unreleased Valentinos on Soul for Real. But if I had 50 quid, I'd put a couple of quid towards it and buy the Carol Cleveland reissue with the 7-inch single.
Very nice, very nice. Well, now I've got those records in my wants list, I can go and buy them. But thank you so much for coming and talking to me over an espresso, an Americano. It was great to hear a little bit about the sort of old Bristol record shops, so thank you for blessing us with that knowledge. Cheers to that, John.
Thank you very much.
There you go. And I'll see you guys on the next Cup of Soul.